Hello and welcome to this new video from Olfert&Co. As always, my name is Tobias. And in this video, we want to introduce you to the stylish Certina DS Action diver. Here, in the completely black version. Truly a very well-made watch, entirely in black. And since the watch also bears a certain resemblance to another model from a different manufacturer, I'll take it in the other hand, namely the Tudor here, Black Bay Ceramic. Shall we compare them a little bit over the next few minutes? What are the pros and cons? Where do you get more for your money? And which one do you ultimately like the best? We want to figure that out together in the next few minutes. If you want to continue supporting us with such videos, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Then you won't miss anything we upload in the future. But now I would say, let's take a detailed look at the Certina first. Enjoy. So, for everyone out there looking for a stylish black watch, truly blacked out, we actually have the perfect watch from Certina here. The Certina DS Action here in all black. We have a black bezel, a black case, a black dial, and as the only contrast. Here, the hands and indices are kept in white. Of course, perfect for being able to read the watch well, very important. And here, again on a black NATO strap, so really everything you need if you're looking for a black watch. As a comparison, we actually have one of the most well-known or popular black models here for you, and that is the Tudor Black Bay Ceramic, the 79210. That means we have a high-end product on the left and a high-end product on the right. The Certina is in the mid-range. Price-wise, of course, completely different worlds. The Certina is priced at 975 euro, and the euros, and the Tudor at 5,000 euros. So we have a price difference of 5 times. That is, of course, not entirely irrelevant. Of course, there are differences, no question about it. But it's always a question of what you want. Therefore, we want to content ourselves with the Certina here, and take a look at it first, because in my opinion, it is one of the best black watches when it comes to value for money. Let's just start. We have here a stylish unidirectional. Rotatable bezel, quite classic for a diver, with a matte ceramic insert, meaning the inlay here is made of matte ceramic, making it nicely resistant. We have a sapphire crystal, anti-reflective on the inside. Thus, it is also nicely resistant to scratches. And then a stainless steel case, which is PVD coated. The coating here at Certina is really very good and very thick, making it correspondingly durable, because let's be honest, any coating can eventually come off with a certain amount of force or impact. Okay, well, unfortunately that's the case, but with Certina it is incredibly durable and you don't have to worry about it. Furthermore, we have here the screwed crown with crown protection on the right side at the 3 o'clock position. That's exactly where the date is located as well. In fact, we don't find the date on the Tudor in comparison. So, for those who place special value on that, Certina is definitely the right choice. Overall, the price-performance ratio of Certina is simply unbeatable. We have a diving watch that is 300 meters water resistant, officially certified according to SMO ISO standard 6425. Certified. Therefore, it can officially be called a diver's watch. Not just in terms of design or look, but truly according to the specifications. That's always nice to know, of course. And if we take a look at the watch, from the side it has a great profile. I would say the Certina DS Action in 43mm, we've already introduced it to you in general. It is available in various versions. As the newest family member here in the black version, and I think Certina has just captured the spirit of the times. Great finish, simply chic. This matte black just looks a bit like a stealth bomber. Simply awesome. Then also here in combination with the NATO strap, I personally find it great. Nicely long here with the leather insert and the corresponding stainless steel loops. Also of course coated, ending then in the pin buckle. It fits and makes sense. Otherwise, we naturally have a chic Powermatic caliber inside with an 80-hour power reserve. That means we can simply relax if you want to take off the watch over the weekend. Works wonderfully, wins smoothly, and here too the readability of the black and white contrast. You really can't do it better. The date changes wonderfully. So everything just fits perfectly if we now compare the whole thing with the Tudor. At first glance, they look very similar, of course. So they are both black watches, to put it bluntly. But of course there are differences, and these 5,000 euros, almost 4,000 euros. Price difference, they don't just come from the name. Of course, the name plays a big role, but there are differences. For one, both watches are black, but the Certina has a stainless steel case that is coated. And with the Tudor, it is actually a case made of ceramic. It naturally looks even more stylish and is also a bit lighter. But at the same time, it also has the disadvantage that if you really hit it, it's not the coating that comes off, but the case breaks. They are of course very robust, but one must be aware that with a ceramic case, this can happen if it really falls from a certain height. Then it might be that the case simply breaks at a point. We simply don't have this risk with the Certina, so it's just nicer. Much more suitable for everyday use. If we continue, I find the general appearance is comparable. We also have slightly cream-colored indices. Nevertheless, excellent readability, clearly recognizable as a Tudor. Here, the date is missing on the Tudor. We have that included with the Certina. So, in my opinion, it's a slightly better all-around package. But another major difference is simply the size. The Certina comes with a diameter of 43 millimeters, and the Tudor is at 41 millimeter. We'll see that again on the wrist in a moment, how the whole thing looks. Here's another view from the side. The Tudor here with the relief in the crown, a beautiful rose from earlier times. Both have a sapphire crystal, both have a unidirectional rotating bezel. And a huge difference, of course, must be mentioned, is the movement used. With the Tudor, we not only have a chronometer certified movement, but a master chronometer. So an incredibly well regulated and rigorously tested movement. That's not the case with Certina, of course, but you can simply notice the differences are there, but 4,000 euros is, of course, quite a statement. Not everyone can afford it, and not everyone has to, because if you consider you get for, well, a fifth of the money here, such a great watch for a class price point. From Switzerland, with a quality that stands out, with great warranty, excellent service, and a superb team behind it, then I think the decision, at least from my perspective, is relatively easy. And for everyone who is still looking for that certain something, who values the uniqueness of the materials of the movement even more, they are definitely with Tudor. Right, the quality goes without saying. In direct comparison, it is of course even better. Whether it is 5 times better, that remains to be seen. Everyone has to decide that for themselves. But the watch, when you see it like this, with the corresponding couch shop strap here on the inside, it's a hybrid strap in this specific case, leading into the clasp, also kept in black. That is, of course, a whole different league. Here, with the screwed case back with a display window. This has actually been introduced for the first time with this watch at Tudor. It didn't exist until that point. So there are a few differences that come into play. But ultimately, everyone has to decide for themselves, of course. We have both available. Therefore, if for one or the other watch is an option, we have both available. Both are there. But I would say, let's put both models on the gold scale again. And let's also take another look at the Lume when we shine the Lume material on the Certina here. Then it definitely glows very well, reflecting here in blue, and it lights up completely. We have the glow there on the rotating bezel, specifically on the inlay at 12. And of course, the luminous hands and indices also glow wonderfully. That fits If we compare the whole thing here with the Tudor, it should look the same, with the difference that we don't have a luminous dot at the 12 o'clock position on the bezel. This means that only the dial really glows here, so the hands and the indices. But they also glow wonderfully. They even glow a bit stronger. Here, in reality, no difference. Visible on the camera indeed. But, of course, there are differences given the price difference. So, and if we now put both models on the scale, let's start with the Certina. We come to 112.45 grams. And in comparison, the Tudor, I'm curious, is actually almost 5 grams lighter, so 107.17 grams. That is then the difference, of course, in size and material. But I would have actually expected a bit more. So, and now you see the Certina DS Action on my wrist, completely in black. And I think it has a really cool look, a really great presence. It also comes with 43 millimeters. Fitting for my wrist, as always, 18 to 18.5 centimeters in circumference, but clearly the 43 millimeter. They are of course not for everyone, especially those with smaller wrists. I would say 16.5 or similar. It will probably be difficult for it to look harmonious. The smaller sizes might be interesting there. That might also bring his tour into question. However, as mentioned, we are in a different price range there. For comparison, let's quickly put it on. And there I have it on my wrist. It naturally has a slightly different presence right away. You immediately see the difference with the beige-colored Lume, and also the beige-colored or contrasting stitching on the strap. At the same time, a little bit more. The different color reflection, the different finish of the case, and a slightly smaller proportion in general. I'm curious to hear what you think about the two models. Which of the two black beauties is the better one, but the more beautiful one would be the right one for you? Let us know. We're already curious. And with that, unfortunately, we are already at the end of our video about the stylish Certina DS Action in all black. We hope, of course, that the video and especially the watch or watches have pleased you. I'm already curious about your opinion. As mentioned, feel free to let us know your opinion on the watches in the comments below. Which one would you prefer? What do you think about the pricing structure and so on? Feel free to let us know. In that sense, feel free to leave a like for the video, subscribe to the channel for the future. And then we'll surely see each other again very soon next time. Until then, bye.